regulations that saw us enter the turbo hybrid era of F1 car development. The biggest change being the engines, which were changed from 2.4
And good
litre
evening,
V8
everybody,
engines
and
to
welcome
1.6
to
litre
our
turbocharged
Tier
V6
4
Along with this came
Brazil
integrated
race
complex
tonight. It's the
digital
third
system,
race of the week,
which is ERS.
following our Tier 3 guys and our Tier 2 guys during the week. And we will have our Tier 1 guys tomorrow night. Tonight, round Brazil, 2 more races after this one, and it is a sprint weekend. So there is 34 points on offer tonight, and our championship leader, FPRL Scotsman, who said last week he wasn't going to show up, is actually here. And this is where he could potentially win the championship if everything goes his way. From what I think, with 34 on show tonight, he basically needs about 24 points. And if the guys behind, like Frenchie, the Flow, if they can't score tonight, then that will be the championship over. We just getting a few cars trickling out on track as we have Brett is cool, he's still in the pits. The Fox, Skull Kid, Stars Orphan and Magic Ram. So we will ride on board with Skull Kid during his out lap. Got the Alfa Romeo of FPRL Fox in front of him. Yeah, going around Brazil, obviously it's quite a quick track for Sector 1 and Sector 3, but Sector 2 is very tricky with so many tight lefts and rights that you do need a bit of downforce for, so it is going to be interesting with these guys on the setup, whether they do prefer the straight line speed or they are going to go a bit higher on the downforce for that middle sector. We will follow Skull Kid round for a lap and see how he sets. Coming up into turn 1, CNS, just braking just after the 50-meter board, and he's just broke a bit too late and just touched the grass. And sadly, that is his first go done, so he will just turn the battery off, try to take as little as he can out of them tires, and hopefully go again. So we will have another wee look then at Fox, who was just in front of Skull Kid whenever he started. So he's just through Sector 1, up to the top of the hill of Sector 2, double right-hander. Quite hard this one. Obviously, if I had a good camera angle, we could have seen if he hit the apex or not, but it did look pretty clean. Nice exit. Again, another tight right-hander. You can't outbrake yourself, but he has clipped that apex lovely, and it looks like he will be getting a bit of a toe up towards the final sector, up the hill again. Tight left-hander, can run a bit wide here, so it's all on the exit, which he has sorted out well. It is shown in purple, but we obviously will ignore that one for now. So DRS open towards the line, trying to hold yourself as close as you can to that wall to cut off as much time as you can. Stars Orphan with the 109.8, or yeah, 109.8, and Fox with the 108.9, so that's a pretty good representative lap from Fox. Obviously he is one of the guys still in the championship battle, but he needs quite a lot of things to go right for him tonight, as we have a few yellow flags, just Sector 1 with guys letting each other through. As we have big David Lowface, he's coming up, just finishing up his lap, looks very tight to the wall again, a 109.8, just slightly improving on his teammate Stars Orphan by about 0.03 of a second, as we have Willy Bum into P2 with a 109.2. We will look out for one of the Red Bull guys, Tattooed Star. He's just invalidated, but Red Bull guys and the Williams guys, they'll be looking to try to make a good show tonight. Obviously with the two Aston Martin guys, that was Vitt and Bluntblade, that did kind of run away with the constructors, that has given the chance of the Williams duo and the Red Bull duo to start to fight back. So we will have a quick look then at Sid. Don't have our championship leader out on track at the minute. We just wait for him to come out on track, see what kind of time he sets, as Rare Winter, obviously a very strong qualifier that we've seen for the past 3-4 weeks. Again, 108.5, so he's 4/10, or sorry, just over 3/10 clear of the rest of the field at the minute. Only thing with Rare Winter is, though, he hasn't just been able to really, make that qualifying position and turn it into the race. You know, it's always been pole position after pole position, but he just can't do it in the race. We've seen it last week. He was having a great battle with Scotsman for the first 7 or 8 laps around Mexico, and he just lost the back end through sector 2 and into the wall, and that was kind of his race done from there. So hopefully this week we will see him, as we have Skull Kid just saying he's hit the barrier on pit lane and have front wing damage. So that's why he had locked up in the first corner and touched the grass. Yeah, hopefully this week we see Rare Winter try to convert maybe a pole that we've seen into a race win, or at least a podium after these troublesome few weeks for him. As we'll have a quick look. TJ, he won't be really setting a quick lap here, so we'll have another look down the field. Skull Kid, he's starting off his second go, obviously with the front wing damage that he had on his first go. Keep an eye on him. Obviously, Skull Kid, he's been doing well for the past 2-3 weeks, you know, in qualifying. So hopefully you can get another strong performance out of him, as it looks like we have one of the Aston Martins right in front of him. Hopefully that doesn't hold him up too much. At the end of sector 1, he might get a slight toe. The Aston Martin moves perfectly out of the way for him, so hopefully that hasn't held him up, as we have the Alpine on the left hand side. That hasn't gotten his way. The problem is it might be a bit of a battery shortage here for Skull Kid on that run up to the line. He will lose so much time if he cannot control that battery. One thing to keep an eye out is he's really slid the car around, the back end all over the place, but he's held it up nicely, so that's going to be a few, maybe 3-4 tenths loss just in that one corner alone. But at least he will get a time on the lap, or time on the board. He is going to give a beautiful toe to the Aston Martin that it looks like is going to be a red is cool. He's actually just went into the pit lane, so that did not matter. Skull Kid with a 1010 or 110.5. Something on the board to chase the Delta for, as we have our championship leader Scotsman with a 109.1. You can already see how tight these top really 8 are, or sorry, top 9, all separated within 7-6 tenths. The float, he's P2 with a 108.7. This is going to be a big weekend for him. Obviously, with the 34 points on offer, he's going to be hoping, God forbid, that his teammate and Scotsman aren't able to really do anything this week, and he'll be hoping for 2 DNFs out of them guys, and he can try to take fully control and put himself really in the title fight. We will just go down the grid. We have Frenchie, the other Williams, P2 in the championship, just come through sector 2 at the minute. We'll have a quick look at his time on the split. The sector 3, there will be a yellow flag coming through this corner on the exit. Looks like they're well out of the way, which they are. So 52.3, which is not a bad second sector. Obviously he's going to get the massive toe off his teammate. Well, the flow, he will stay out, it looks like. Really playing the team game here, the 2 Williams guys. Just hasn't paid off for them. That's the exact same time as his championship rival Scotsman with a 109.133. His sandwich redeems a co-coms drink. Sadly tonight I don't have a co-coms. I am on my own, as we have Fox with a 108.5, so that is an absolute stonking laugh from him. Really showing the Rare Winter how he is not going to get away with it so easy that he has been doing for the past few weeks in qualifying. And a big shout out to Fish Sticks as well, the 108.7. It's great pace from him. Technically still is in the championship battle, but he needs basically everyone in front of him to crash out this week, and he has to take full points, or that is him done with. But a good showing from the Mercedes guy in P3 at the minute, with about just over 8 minutes to go. So keep an eye out. We'll give Tattoo Star another go. Just on his out lap actually, so we'll come back to him when he's about to start his lap. As we'll have a look. David might be actually coming up to set up for another lap. He's obviously invalidated. Maybe his first try. He will get a good clear run. with the Alfa Romeo getting out of the way. His battery is on, DRS is open, and we'll take round a lap with David to see how he does and if he can improve on that 109.8. Go down through the NAS, keeps it nice and tight, gives him the exit for turn 2 and opens it all up for turn 3, gets the power down. DRS is open down towards turn 4. Tricky one. It can be a bit of one of them ones with the track limits, you know, you get the power down too early, but he's sorted that out well. As we have Stars Orphan, he's just retired in the pits, so I think that's him done for the qualifying session. Keep an eye on David here if he can improve and hopefully get up towards that top 10. 6/10 to find toward 6/10 to find. Looks like he is going to get quite a clear run towards it as we look through the second sector split. It's a 52.6 each, marginally up, not even a tenth up, so he needs a hell of a last sector here, even just to go up to P13. And he's just called it on that one. He's seen his delta, it's not enough. And there's no point going around again wasting stupid time, as we have Tattooed Stars just finishing off his lap. See if he can get a good lap on the board here, try to help out his teammate get up towards the top 10. Just a 1:10 dead near enough. P15 for Tattooed Star. Obviously earlier on in the season he was doing pretty well, you know, he's always at the podium or in a round, but it just seems not to have found that form, you know, that his teammates had. Be nice to see if Tattooed Star can get back up towards them kind of good positions, really help out his teammate and give Red Bull a good fighting chance in this Constructors' Championship. As we go back up towards the top, the two Alfa Romeo guys, P1 and P2 at the minute, as we will start to see the quiet point of qualifying now. With just over 5 minutes to go, everybody will be in the pits, sticking on the fresh set of softs, dumping the fuel out of the cars. Looks like we have everybody quite slow, but we do have TJ now. He's just started his lap, so you can see if he can improve on that 104 or 109.4. We'll have quite a clean lap to it, you know, no traffic ahead of him. Down towards turn 4, can he keep it within the limits? He does. Coming up the hill, it's quite a tricky double right-hander here, how to catch the first apex. Pretty difficult to see, but looks like he's done that pretty well. Got it perfectly turned in on that apex. Just a very slow left-hander. Just takes forever to get the car to turn in. It's just wanting to get onto that power. We'll have a quick look at his second sector split time. See if he is up marginally. He's up by 3/10. That's going to put him right in towards the top 10 guys here, even P8. And if he can improve a little bit more through the final sector, you could even see him P7, P6. Takes that shortest line straight to the wall. P12, so he's just lost about a half a tenth or so on that last sector. Maybe have had a bit of a toe, or just he had a bit more battery on his last lap that obviously he didn't have that lap. We got everybody who set a time just apart from the other Mercedes of Jay, so hopefully we can get him on a representative time at least. He might have, he would need to really be quick actually to get back into the pits in a new set of softs on, so this could be his one and only. Just needs to make sure he doesn't invalidate. He will get a nice toe off the Alpine. It's a beautiful exit up the hill. Trying to stick as left as you can here, the shortest line possible. DRS will be open. And he sets a 109.3, so that's quite a representative, good representative time from Jay. Obviously first lap, I don't know if he's invalidated the few beforehand or if that was just him straight out. So now we'll see probably in the next minute or so all the big hitters, you know, Rare, Winter, Mongo, Fox, even Fish Sticks, it looks like this weekend, start to come out and really put the ball to the rest of them. As We have the flow. He'll be looking to improve. He's only 3/10 behind on pole, but obviously these guys now that are ahead of him going to get the best track evolution. He will ride on board with the flow and see if he can improve much, which would be his final lap. Down through the NAS, he is getting quite left. Will give him the best exit possible. Get down towards turn 4. Towards turn 4. Can he keep it inside the track limits? It does look like he can. Come up the hill towards 6 and 7. Looks pretty stable through there, down into turn 8. Again, very stable, so he might be just going a bit higher on the downforce. Trying to gain all his time in sector 2. Might get a bit of a hand here with a few cars in front of him that he might be able to stay behind coming up towards the finish line. You could see the AlphaTauri. I don't know if it's David or if it's Storage Orphan giving him a nice little tow. This is actually going to be timed absolutely perfectly for the flow, so this is just going to be extra time on everything, and it's a 108.3, so that is absolutely what he needed. The AlphaTauri has came in clutch for the flow, and that has really set the benchmark now for the rest of these guys to go and chase. So we will actually ride on board with the AlphaTauri. That was David Lowface giving out the free toes as if it's nothing. We will keep an eye for the guys like Mongo and Rare Winter. I think Rare Winter might just be behind David, so we could catch on to him. Just coming through sector 2 now. Again, the car is pretty stable, but he won't be getting the benefit of the tow that the flow did get. It's obviously gained him about 2 or 3 tenths all the way up towards the line. We'll see at the split if he's up by much. He's up just over 2 tenths. That is not really the biggest improvement that he was looking for, as we have one of the Ferraris just letting the Williams go. Thought he had actually spun it. David comes across the line 109.5. That's all he's got for this qualifying session. As we keep a little eye on Rare Winter, who's actually invalidated now, so he's got no battery, so it looks like he's out of this qualifying session. So that's a big turn up for the books for these tier 4 guys. So it looks like it's down to Fox and to Mongo. Mongo, he's got very little battery left, and Fox is right behind his teammates, so it looks like the Alfa Romeo guys are going to play the team game here. Will Mongo stay ahead and just use up all of his battery, and he will actually get the tow from the Aston Martin ahead of him. So this could be absolutely crucial for Fox, as I've just missed the sector 2 split. So he's just looking for just over a tenth and a half, as actually Fish sticks with a 108, and Brett is cool now with the 108.1, and Fox just misses out by just over a tenth. Brett is cool in the Aston Martin. Looks like to be your pole sitter, unless we have anyone like Willie Bum. He is coming through. He's just over 2 tenths up. So we'll keep an eye on him through the last sector. We'll also have Jay and Radical should be our last lap times. DRS open. Very little battery left, so it's really not going to gain much here, but gained enough just to make up 2 positions, so that's P7 for Willie Bum. That's a good showing from him, and that is it for qualifying. So it's Brett is cool that's actually taken pole in the Aston Martin, an absolutely great lap with a 108.1, and now he's just been given a 5-second penalty for illegal blocking, or a 5-place grid penalty. So that's not exactly what we wanted, is it? So Predisco is technically your pole sitter, but he has been given illegal blocking. I haven't caught that. I don't know if that was really AI or what's happened with him. Yeah, Gary, I am thinking that from what I've seen of that, that didn't look like it's affected anything. It is going to be bread is cool, as we have bread is cool saying the AI has done him. So I think we will have a restart here with bread is cool's AI has absolutely shafted him to say the least, and we should be back in a few minutes. If
Continuing around 20 to 24 races a year, we can expect 2,000 GP to happen around the year 2064. Present since the very start of sport, Ferrari takes the number one spot for almost all constructor records ever. It's the team with the most world championships won, most Grand Prix wins, most pole positions, and most race entries. Let's hope we see a good effort from McLaren here today. In recent times, they've fallen to somewhat of a midfield team. The last time the constructor won a world championship was in 1998. The inaugural World Drivers' Championship was held in 1950 during the fourth season at FPRL. Giuseppe Farina, who was driving for Alfa Romeo, took the championship after winning 3 of the 7 races held that season. Juan Manuel Fangio also took 3 victories, but lost out points after
Yeah,
Hamilton
so we are
failed
going to
to
have a
finish.
restart, guys. Just with what's happened with Bread is cool. Obviously, it's just been his AI that has absolutely shafted him and has given him a stupid 5 place script penalty for nothing. So we will be back in just a few minutes while we reset this lobby and set up the grid again. And we should hopefully be back very, very soon. So welcome back everybody. Apologies for that little delay with just having to set up the lobby for the restart and for our grid. And just to talk you through our grid for this sprint race of 12 laps. We have Bread is Cool on pole with a stonking lap of a 108.1. Fish Sticks, P2, absolutely great for him. It's exactly what he needs. P3 is FPRL Fox. P4 is the Flow. P5, the other Alfa Romeo of Mongo. Rare Winter down in P6. Might be a bit disappointed with that, especially after the last few weeks of constantly getting poles. Willie Bum, great showing for him in the McLaren in P7. Marco, another great showing from him in the Haas. Hopefully this can be the week where he can grab at least a point or two. He's always been in top 10 for the past 2-3 weeks. Hopefully this is the one for him. Championship leader all the way down in P9. So he's got a bit of work to do. So he does in this sprint race, 12 laps. If he's going to be aggressive enough with it, he could pull something out of the bag, at least for a bit of a better position on the main race. And TJ, who rounds off your top 10 in the Ferrari. So we're saying about 9/10 are separating our top 10. So again, it's a little bit wider than what we have seen in the past couple of weeks. But obviously with the sprint race that we do have, that can all change. Especially in the turn 1, with it being the chicane. The CNS, you know, if you could stick it around the outside of turn 1, you're going to get the inside of turn 2. You can easily work your way around that and easily make up a position or two that way. But guys, we do ask you, do be careful. You know, yes, it's only a sprint race, 12 laps. But still, there's plenty of time still in this race to overtake everybody. Especially with the long DRS zone coming up towards the finish line. It's pretty easy to make the overtakes there. We are just waiting for the guys just to sort out their fuel and just to see what tyre compound they are using. It does look like it could stay pretty dry, but as we've seen in real life, Brazil just tends to throw up any weather it wants to within a matter of minutes. So we don't be surprised if we do see a little bit of rain maybe towards the end of this sprint race. Just as we were on the break there, Andy saying it's Bread's first race full time for Aston Martin, and what a way to start it. Absolutely great showing, and I think that's what the Aston Martin guys would like to see, especially after the two strong drivers that they did have unfortunately had to vacate their seats. So it's definitely going to give Aston Martin still a fighting chance in this Constructors' Championship. As we are just waiting. And we are just about to get under for the formation lap. It's going to be quite a short one. Obviously, it's a very short track of only 2.6 miles. We'll see the tyres, and we will see what everybody is on. So it's actually quite a mix of tyres for the sprint race. Bread is Cool going for the softs. Obviously towards the end of the race, them softs will be like absolute, a word that I cannot say. And Fish Sticks and Fox will be looking to try to just stick with them for the first 5 or 6 laps when them softs will start to die off. Just go through the back end of the grid for you. So Rosie, P20 in the McLaren, starting on the softs with Magic Ram, who's in P19. First of our medium runners is Skull Kid P18 and Tattooed Star in P17. Aston Martin of Sid Sandwich P16. As we have one of the Alpines of Magic Ram just taking out a few boards just for the crack. P15 David Lowface. Radical in the Alpine in P14. Jay, a good showing from him. He'd be looking to try to climb up through the field quickly enough on them softs. In P13, Starzorf in P12. Frenchie, our P2 man in the championship, all the way down to P11, hoping with them softs he can fight through a good few guys quickly and make it a bit better for him in the main race. P10 is TJ, our championship leader P9, so he'll be definitely looking to do something towards the end of this race, being on the mediums. P8, another great qualifying for Marco in the Haas. P7 is Willie Bump. P6 is Rare Winter. P5 in the Alfa Romeo is Mongo. P4 in the Williams is the Flow. Fox is P3. In the Mercedes Fish Sticks is P2 on the mediums. And our poleman for the sprint race in the Aston Martin with a great lap is Bread is Cool, as we are just waiting for the final few cars just to line up as we can get the sprint race undergo for 12 laps. 3, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are away for the sprint race around Brazil. Looks like Bread is Cool's just got a bit too much wheel spin off the line. Fish Sticks down the inside pretty easily. Come through turn 1. Do we keep it all clean? Fish Sticks does make that move stick. Fox in P3, slight contact with where Winter's actually moved up 3 positions. Scotsman's already retired. What's happened there down the back of the grid? As we have Jay spun, Frenchie, he must have spun. It looks like quite a bit of carnage has happened towards the back end of the grid. Obviously with our championship leader Scotsman involved, that's going to be exactly what the Flow is looking out for. As we have a virtual safety car just to slow things all down. Let's just see, has anyone at the back got any wing damage, which I cannot see any of so far. So Fish Sticks straight off the line. Obviously we see Bread is Cool, too much wheel spin, and that just allowed Fish Sticks down the inside, so now he can't control this race for when we get back under green off this virtual safety car. Rare Winter already up to P3, so he's just going to be looking to try to get through Bread is Cool and Fish Sticks as quickly as he can. We know he does have the pace, as it looks like the virtual safety car should be in any second now. So we have Rare Winter all over the back of Bread is Cool, not giving him a second to breathe, just ready for it as we do go back on the green. Will Rare Winter, he's got the overtake ready already. He's not going to look for it as we have FPRL Foxy just giving a little look down the inside, as we have the McLaren Willy Bump just slightly wide. So we have the Flow and Marco side by side. Looks like Marco's maybe just touched the Flow and it's maybe just came out a bit worse. He looks like he's had rear end plate damage or right side end plate damage, which it does look like he has. So we have David just making full advantage of that there, so he's already up, I think it's what, 7 positions already, so that's a great start from David. As we have Marco obviously with the wing damage now. It's going to be a big accident now with Magic Ram down that we've seen flying through turn 5 as if he couldn't steer. And is that going to be a safety car? He went in there really at a rate of knots. Somehow we're still under green, so I don't know, was there any contact between him and Rosie or whatever's happened there, but we've just got the tail end of it at the back of the screen. We'll move on towards coming up to lap 3. Obviously Fish Sticks is going to have quite a challenge now with Bread is Cool and Rare Winter both on the softs. Within 6/10 of him is Bread is Cool going to have a quick look down into turn 1. Looks down the inside, does break that slight bit later. He is there, but looks like Fish Sticks has held on to it, but now Rare Winters took most advantage of that one. Now Rare Winter's going to have a good look down towards turn 4. Will he go inside or outside? Goes down the inside. Bread's trying to make it 3 wide around the outside. Rare Winter down the inside, makes it stick. Rare Winter, he's got a bit of ghost, or Bread is Cool, sorry, a bit of ghost in there with FPRL Fox, but it does look like he's came out okay with it. So it's not the best start for Bread is Cool, but now we've got the gap between 7th and 8th of 2.5 seconds. So these top 7 are just going to hopefully drive away. Just quickly down. Looks like everything's kind of calmed down towards the back, and obviously we've got Marco, Stars Orphan, Sid Sandwich, Jay, and Skull Kid. So Skull Kid just on the pit exit. It looks like he's hit the wall maybe. The yellow flag. It's one of the Mercedes. It's Fish Sticks. The P2 setter. He spun it. So what's happened there? Is he tried to go for a move down the inside and maybe just a touch of wheels? As we have Bread is Cool, he's looking toward David Lowface around the outside maybe. Tattooed Star as well. He's going to try to take full advantage of them two fighting with the DRS, but looks like David has just got the better exit, so he will look down again at Bredesco. DRS, and he's just like so much better of it. Bredesco just slightly laggy, so that's created a massive gap now for the top 5, with obviously what's happened with fish sticks. We'll have a quick look back up to Alfa Romeo, guys. I've been absolutely loving this start. P2 and P3 at the minute with Rare Winter. Big gainer of 5 positions, and we'll just have a quick look to see our biggest position changes. As we have David Lowface up 8 from P15. Tattoo Star is up 9. So a great start from them two guys. Obviously it's just kept it clean through the mayhem that was turn 1 and turn 2. We managed to get away with it now, and they'll be hoping to try to dispatch a Bredesco as quickly as they can. Just looks like Bredesco has not been able to fire up them softs to what he would like to do. We go back up towards the front of this field. Rare Winter now has pulled a 2-second gap. He looks pretty comfortable at the minute as Bredesco gets a 3-second time penalty for the corner cuts through turn 1, 2 and 3. So keep an eye on Willy Bum here, right behind Mongo. We'll be looking at FPRL Fox trying to help his teammate out here with the toe. Not much passing opportunity into sector 2. It's just too tight and far too tight. You really have to commit for it and hope the other driver does see you in time, or there will be a bit of contact. It's just better off doing what Willy Bum is doing and just holding back for the DRS zone and get that toe off the Alfa Romeo guys. This will be one to keep an eye out for. Will the toe of FPRL Fox be enough to help Mongo? Actually, Willy Bum runs wide, so now he's going to be under pressure from the flow. The flow goes down the inside. It's going to be a DRS battle. The flow does not use any of his battery. I think Willy Bum might have used a little bit just to get back ahead of the flow. The flow, is he going to look down the inside of turn 1? No, he thinks far better of it. That's giving the Alfa Romeo guys a bit of breathing room down that DRS straight. Just have Skull Kids card just coming out of the pit lane. Shouldn't be in too much trouble, so it shouldn't. We can already see now Fox, he's closed that gap by 9/10 in the space of 2 laps. So we are already going to see the softs starting to die off, and these medium runners will come into their own game here maybe in the next 3 or 4 laps. This will be the battle to keep an eye out for between the top 5. If the Fox can close that gap in a little bit more, even get the DRS, that's going to allow everyone up to the flow to really be in this this fight for P1. So it looks like we have a mighty train behind Bread. Just doesn't look like he is enjoying this whatsoever as his virtual safety car. Something has happened to Sandwich. So again, this will slow the pack right down. Get the chance for the guys to get a bit more battery as we'll move on with 6 laps to go. Yeah, Diamond, we did see it. Yeah, Diamond, we did see Bread's jumpy antics, we'll say. His monkey boy, absolute, yeah. Yeah. I think that could describe maybe the first lap of this race, monkey. We have Scotsman in the chat as well, just saying he was on the inside of the corner. He went tight and then he's just received a hit. So that's obviously what's happened to him. It's spun him round as we go back under green. So it looks like Rare Winter has been able to gain a couple of tenths off that virtual safety car restart. So that should give him a bit of an advantage coming up towards the DRS detection point. But he'll be hoping to stay outside of the 1 second for now, for at least the next 2 or 3 laps before these medium runners will really come into their own game. As we have Mongo again right up the back of Fox. Now, these two guys are technically still in the championship fight, especially now with Scotsman that's had the DNF on the first lap. This is a massive opportunity for these guys to grab as many points as they want. Fox, he is ahead of his teammate Mongo by 8 points. So it looks like maybe they're going to preference him for now, and then we can see in the main race what happens there. As we have David Lowface and Tattoo Star going side by side through the Sen AS. And Radical, he'll be looking to take full advantage of this here. Can we be seeing a 3 wide down into turn 4? Looks like David's got the opportunity to hold it off. Tattoo is looking down the inside. He is still there, but David well defended. Obviously, he had the DRS with the detection point just being on the exit of turn 1. Tattoo's not giving it up. He's looked down the inside. He's had to brake a little bit, and that's just allowed Radical to go sweeping around the outside. That's not what Tattoo'd want. Now TJ, he's looking to get into the action here. Can he try to somehow squeeze these points? Obviously, David is our last points paying position in P8. It's a 4-way battle for the singular point that is on offer in the sprint race, as we'll have the Flow and Willy Bum. The Flow, he will have the DRS. Willy Bum won't. There's a massive chance for the Flow to quickly make this position up. We go inside or outside, down the inside, pretty simple. Back onto the racing line pretty aggressively, just saying to Willy Bum, no, this is my corner, and that is it. So can he, on the 8-lap old softs, try to catch up to Mongo with such little tyre life left compared to the medium guys? We've come in with 3.5 laps to go. Rare Winter still just leading, but Fox is starting to win slowly but surely towards that 1 second mark. He is right on it as we see, and he's just slightly outside, so we'll see in the next two corners on the exit of turn 12 if he can just squeeze in that 1 second, and if he does, then that is the top 4 guys straight into the DRS train. It looks like Rare Winter's got the better exit there, and that is not going to be an absolute worry as we have the Flow round the outside of Mongo. So it looks like Mongo's had a poor exit, and the Flow is looking to make up all the positions he can as soon as he is past Willy Bum. But Mongo is not going to give this up. He is looking down the inside again, side by side through turn 1 and 2. Keep it clean, lads. And Mongo thinks better of it, backs out of it, but he will get the better exit, and he will have the DRS, so this could be a pretty simple one for Mongo, which it is. Round the outside, keeps his racing line. The Flow not going to fight that one whatsoever. So absolutely great defending from Mongo from basically halfway down the straight till turn 4. Nice little battle to see. And we just have a little eye on Fox. The only thing now with them 2 guys battling, that's giving Mongo too much of a gap now to his teammates, and again he will be under threat from his teammate, or from the Flow at the next DRS. So just have a little look down to see a little battle forming between Radical, Tattooed Star and TJ. TJ stuck in the middle of them. We also have David Lowface just a slight bit up the road, just outside the 1 second mark. So he'll be looking again, a nice little exit out of turn 12, and he should be safe enough for this lap, which he will be. He's actually got a great exit, it looks like. He had 2.5 tenths on the rest of the guys. As we look, TJ with DRS open, start to use his overtake now, just down the inside. Radical is going to fight it though, is he? Trying to hold it round the outside. He will get the inside for turn 2, but no, TJ down the inside of turn 1, but there is a slight wiggle, so that is going to give Radical a chance to fight back. Now Radical will have the DRS. Sticks into the slipstream round the outside. Tattoo Stars looking down the inside. Have they made it through clean? There's a bit of contact between Tattoo Star and TJ, and it looks like they came through it okay, but Radical's great move down the inside. Tattoo again, he's looking for that move up into turn 6. It's just not a place you can really overtake, lads. Just better off holding off. But now we can see just over a lap remaining. Fox has been able to get into that DRS of Rare Winter, and now we can see, will he go for the move this lap, or will he try to just set him up out of the exit of 3? Just try to force him on the inside. He has got the DRS. He is looking round the outside. Can he make it stick? No, he runs very wide. It looks like he's had a very bad moment, so that's going to have let Rare Winter get away with this one. Looks like he could secure the win. But we have the Flow right behind Mongo. The 2 Alfa Romeos are under a bit of pressure on this last lap. Can the Williams guy of the Flow do anything to upset these 2? As it looks like we have something with the Ferrari. Is that TJ? Yes, TJ spun it. That's going to allow Frenchie straight through. Not what we want to see in the last lap. Frenchie's allowed him straight back past. It must have been an illegal overtake with yellow flags. Now we can see that gap of our winter back up to 2.2 seconds. We'll keep an eye on the flow here. He really is putting the pressure under the two Alfa Romeo guys. Especially now, straight on the slipstream of Mongo. He has to make sure he gets a great exit out of here, which it looks like he does. So Mongo's under a lot of pressure now. The flow right under his rear wing, getting all that slipstream. When he open up the DRS, use all his battery. He's going to go for the outside, is he? Just not going to be able to make it. Mongo hangs on for P3. Rare Winter P1. Absolute great drive. Fish Sticks comes over the line P6. Looks like it's pretty settled down yet. That was a great little sprint race. Obviously, Rare Winter P6 to P1. It's exactly what he wanted. Just hasn't been able to get the pole to the... So he could convert pole and he can't win the race, but when he doesn't get pole, he wins a race. So can we see it now where he gets the sprint pole? And he finally managed to win the main race, but a great drive from Rare Winter. Got through them very nice and cleanly. You have Monkey Boy said stupid from Fox. Should have waited for the second DRS, so yeah. Maybe just a little bit too early. Definitely, if you set yourself up for the exit of turn 3, the guy just has no chance, so he doesn't. That is our sprint race results. Rare Winter P1, the two Alfa Romeo boys of Fox and Mongo with a great showing in P2 and P3. Great battling with the flow, who ended up just about in P4, but he really did give the Alfa Romeo guys a good run for their money. Nice little drive from Willy Bum in P5. Fish Sticks, he'll be a bit disappointed with P6. Obviously, we've seen him with a bit of the mistake. Again, Brett is cool. He has another one. Started on pole, down in P7. And Radical is our last points paid position of P8. Grabs up the solo point. David's just missed out. Obviously, a great drive from him and Tattooed Star. But sadly, just missed out on the points. But that will give them a lot of confidence going into our main race. And see if they can gain a few more positions and get some good points. Rare Winter, it may be just a sprint, but it's a win. Hopefully now you can convert that to our main race win. If you do, that's would be 8 different drivers this year in Tier 4 that win. It's definitely not been a championship where one guy's just absolutely dominated everything. We've had guys like Vitt, he's won a few Steel London, he's won a few Scotsman, he's won 2 or 3 maybe. Guys like that we did have was Bluntblade, just constantly in the podium on the high, scoring points. And obviously the two Williams guys of Frenchie and the Flow, they were just always being consistent all season. Not the highest points that they got at the start of the season, but you know, they've just stuck in there, finished their races well, and now we can see they're P2 and P3 in the championship. It's an interesting little thing to see. It does look like it is a bit overcast. So, as I said earlier about the weather around Brazil, it can change in a heartbeat. So that will be one thing to keep an eye out for. As it looks like Andy in the chat's just saying Fish Sticks is spun and Brett had hit into the back of him. What's quite unfortunate from Brett, but as I say, yeah, a good recovery drive for him. We know he does have the pace around here, so can he try to get that battle to Rare Winter, and especially the two Alfa Romeo guys, who will be looking extra points now with such a great sprint race under their belt. It'll just be a couple of minutes wait while these guys get their strategy sorted out. It should be a one-stop race, barring any rain, but we will see later on into the race. As we have said, Samage saying perfectly that clouds will go away throughout the race, so it looks like we're going to have a nice dry one. Whereas myself in Tier 3 absolutely ruined my own race. If you guys were watching, you would have seen me in P2. And we had a safety car, and I decided to pit on the inters while it was still dry. And I think it was myself and Yorkie just tried to gamble. We knew the rain was coming, and it just didn't come quick enough. And by the time the rain came, we had another safety car, and the rest of the guys that were on the dries got onto the inters in time, and it just never worked out from there on. So that might be a little lesson. Just don't do what I do and try to be too smart. Just be a couple of seconds now. Flo. He's left the session. So yeah, guys, if you do leave mid-race, just be patient when I can get you an invite back. If I don't see it, just message me either on Discord or on Xbox, and I will be able to sort that out as soon as I can for you. Obviously, we know these servers on F1 are a bit all over the show. So hopefully that will be the one and only disconnect that we see all night. And these tier 4 guys can treat us to a great race, what they have done all season. Should just be a couple of minutes longer, maybe. Hopefully David can kick us off as soon as possible. Obviously we've had the flow now, he's disconnected, his game has crashed, so just giving him a chance to get back in. From what I think, that could mess up his strategy, as we have them underway now for the formation lap of our main race around Brazil for our winter. Just warming up them rears nicely. So for 36 laps around in Brazil, our grid looks like this. Our championship leader in P20 in the Red Bull is Scotsman. It's not what he wanted obviously from the sprint, but he'll be looking to try to battle through this field and try to just get as many points as he can on the board, and just try to not allow Frenchie or the flow to really eat into his championship lead. Magic Ram P19 in the Alpine. P18 is Skull Kid. Obviously he's had a poor qualifying and he was involved in the stuff in the sprint race, so he'll be looking again to fight through, try to do it nice and cleanly and try to get some points on the board for the Haas guys. Sid Sandwich P17. In P16 in the Mercedes is Jay. P15 in the other Haas is Marco. Hopefully he can try to get his first points of the season on the board. Stars Orphan in P14 in the AlphaTauri. Big TJ in the Ferrari is P13. Rosie is P12 in the McLaren. Our P2 setter in the championship, as we have TJ and Rosie, looks to have made a bit of a collision together, which has disqualified them both. P11 is Epic Frenchie, P2 in the championship at the minute, so he'll be looking to try to make some positions up in this race and try to get as much points on Scotsman as he can. Tattoo Star in the other Red Bull is P10. P9 in the AlphaTauri is David. Radical is in P8. Red is Cool, our pole sitter in the sprint race, is P7 now. Fish Sticks, P6, he knows he has the pace, he should be able to try to get through a few of these guys. P5 is Willy Bum in the McLaren. P4, just missing out in P3 in the sprint, is the Flow. Mongo and Fox take P3 and P2, and our pole sitter for this main race is Rare Winter in the Ferrari. So can he convert it this time?
It hasn't always been like that though. In the 1950s, the average age of the drivers was 39, with 3 over the age.
Yeah, just waiting for the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we are away for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Looks like a good enough start from Winter. He's just going to cover off Fox on the inside. But it looks like Mongo's got the better traction off the line. So he's already done his teammate in turn 1 round the outside. Pretty beautiful move. The flow, he looks like he's not had the best start. Willie Bum's been able to get past him, but the flow does look like he's going to be going straight back for that position down the inside. Is he going to look for it? Is he going to be going for it? Just about backside of it in time, but that's given him a bit of an issue, and he's actually spun the car, so it looks like battling for it and backing out for it. It's actually caught him out big time. So that's not what the flow wanted whatsoever. That's a massive mistake from him. Maybe he should have just waited. Obviously we are on lap 1 and with the front wing change, and we just look up at the tyres whether what really he has to do now. So he started on the mediums. Hards obviously aren't going to bring him to the end, so this is going to be a tricky one for the flow to try to recover from. Go back up towards the front of the field. Rare Winter on the mediums, trying to hold off Mongo. Maybe could let Mongo go here, as Mongo is going to look for it round the outside of the Senna S. Use up a good bit of his battery, it looks like. I cannot get the telemetry up. So Mongo is our P1, takes P1 at the start of our second lap, so he'll be looking to try to break away from Rare Winter, but it looks like Rare Winter's going to hold with him, and there's quite a big gap now to our hard runner of Fox in P3 of 1.6 seconds already. Willie Bum on the mediums, he's going to be trying to look through Fox as soon as he can, try to stick with Mongo and Rare Winter. Will he look for it in Sector 2? It'd be silly if he does. It's better of it. No point even thinking of that. Fish Sticks and Bread is cool. They've obviously made up the position of the flow spinning. The flow in the box straight onto the hard tyres. They'll be looking for a safety car later on in this race, preferably whenever he needs to pit off them hards. Tattoo, like you said, in P7. Radical come through last one. Got a bit too much of the apex, but we'll give Marco maybe a little look, but he's just slightly too far behind. This is exactly what Marco needed. He's up a good few positions. Let's have a quick look again at the front, as we have Willie Bum and Fox side by side through turn 1 and turn 2 and through 3. There's a bit of contact there. Did Willie Bum go around? Yes, he did. I thought I seen Willie Bum go around, and it looks like he's collected one of the... Did he collect someone? I couldn't fully see, but it did look like someone was touched with him. So that is always the worry of going side by side through turn 1 and turn 2, as we have Magic Ramp down the inside of Skull Kid. Turn 4, but Skull Kid's going to hold it around the outside. Is he going to look for it around the outside of turn 6? No, he thinks better of it. So that's an absolute great move from Magic Ramp to push himself up into P14. Yeah, Willie Bum, it's not what he wanted to start, as he got away with it and not got any damage. We'll have a quick little look. We have Rare Winter, he's not letting go of Mongo whatsoever, so obviously Rare Winter seems to have that bit of extra pace in the tank, as Willie Bum has got away without damage. The only damage he's got is a bit of pride after what's happened there. Yeah, Rare Winter just looks to be holding back. He's not using any of his battery whatsoever, so it looks like he's pretty content with this pace. Obviously they've got a 3-second gap over Fox on the hard tyres, so maybe he'll just allow Mongo to pull him along, save his battery up. Just try to take control of this race in the later stages. We have Bread is cool and Fox separated by 2/10. Bread right all over the rear wing of the Alfa Romeo. Go down the field again. We have David, he's under a bit of pressure from Marco, so that's a great start from Marco. Just can we see him keep with it now, just keep it on the track. It looks to be a bit of a wiggle from David. That's going to put him under the pressure. Marco thinks better if it doesn't make that move whatsoever. just going down the field a little bit more. Obviously Fish Sticks, he's one of them, so I think he might have been the one that was caught up with Willy Bum. You can see he's lost his left side end plate. Well, that's not what Fish Sticks needed whatsoever. He's going to be under pressure from TJ. TJ, he's not the stupidest man I know. He's smart enough to know, just wait for the DRS to kick in. And this should be a pretty simple move down before you even get to turn 1. Fish Sticks knows that. Pull straight into the pits to get off them medium tyres and get a new front wing change. As we have Mongo and Rare Winter side by side. It looks like through the exit of 3, down towards 4. Rare Winter, he's ran wide, so that will be a warning. Going to have to keep an eye on them throughout this race. That's going to be probably the easiest place to get that warning. 3 of them, and it's a simple 3-second time penalty for you. Rare Winter's all over the back of Mongo at the minute. You need to get him a second to breathe. It looks like he's just going to wait for Mongo to die off on these soft tyres, maybe. As we've seen, another second is taken out of Fox. So I think Rare Winter might be happy enough with this pace. But we might see him try to push on here, as it looks like he's got a better exit. I think he's already side by side with Mongo before he even hit the DRS zone. So this should be a pretty simple one for Rare Winter. Has the shortest line to turn 1, but it doesn't look like Mongo's given that up pretty easily. Looks like he's got a bit more of a straight line speed set up. So will he try to hold it round the outside? Thinks better of it, but he is going to look for the better exit out of 2 and 3, which he might be able to do. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get that fully, but he is still going to have a look with DRS open, using his battery down the inside for turn 4. A pretty simple one there before we can get towards the apex whatsoever. So it looks like this could be a great battle between these top 2 guys. As we again will look down the field. We have Tattooed Star, TJ, they're fighting. Looks like Tattooed Star's already made that pretty simple move, so maybe TJ just not enjoying these mediums whatsoever at the minute. Maybe just waiting for him to heat up a little bit more, and maybe he'd be able to push through. As we have Skull Kid, first one of the 3-second penalties, and I'm sure we will see a few more of them throughout this race. Again, we can see Rare Winter and Mongo side by side near enough. Rare Winter, will he go for it again? Basically 100% battery, he's not even pushing the car. But Mongo is 52% battery, and he has nothing to fight with. Rare Winter's just straight across Mongo, not even giving him a chance to look at the braking zone, and just going to maybe think about driving away now. Maybe let Mongo have his fun. It looks like he's got a bit better of an exit out of 3, so Mongo is straight back on the tail of Rare Winter. What this is allowing to do is going to allow Fox and Bredis Cole just to start catching up. And speaking of the 2, Bredis Cole looking down the inside of turn 4. Fox gives him the room, especially now with medium tyres on Bredis Cole. Just looking to take full advantage. I believe Marco just seen overtake Scotsman. So obviously we're seeing a bit with the 2 different compounds of tyre that the mediums are still going to be good for maybe another 7-8 laps before the hards will start to take over from there. Just quickly look through the field. Obviously Tattooed Star and TJ have been basically side by side this whole race so far throughout the first 7 or 6 laps. TJ right on the back of Jay for the last paying position of the points, so he'll be looking maybe to get this one done. Coming up towards the start finish line with the DRS active. We'll keep an eye on this one. Looks like it's good enough exit. Already dipped into the slipstream of Jay. He's not going to use his battery, just the DRS should be enough to pull him along. Will Jay use some of his? No. He's got about 30% extra on TJ. He's going to use it now. He's not going to allow it, but TJ is still there on the outside. TJ thinks better of it. Maybe he will try to go through turn 2, the better exit. But it actually looks like Tattooed Star's the one with the best exit out of all 3 of them, so maybe he could be fighting for them. TJ will pull him along, so maybe TJ's going to look down the inside, is he? Jay covers that off pretty nicely. Nice and early defending from Jay. Doesn't allow TJ to even get a hint of down the inside. Just go up towards the top of the field. That gap now between the top 2 and P3 is now 2.3 seconds, so nearly half of that gap that they did have just with them 2 fighting now is gone. Maybe between these top 2 it looks like maybe it's Time to start fighting, and I think Rare Winter's thinking that and just start to pull away. He used a little bit of a sparkle than what he did have in the previous 2 laps. Maybe he's just going to see a bit of extra pace injected into this race as we have Mongo already into the pits. Be interesting to see, will he go medium, or will he go straight onto the hards and hope for a late safety car maybe? It looks like it's going to be the medium tyres for Mongo. Will he be out in any traffic? He might be able to get a clear gap after the McLaren and the AlphaTauri. Might be able to actually just squeeze in front of him. It is going to be quite tight. Not exactly what Mongo wanted to do. He wanted to clear track. This is actually maybe turned a bit too much left. Nearly hit the wall on pit exit. Now he's right behind Stars Orphan and Rosie. He's going to try to look to dispatch these two pretty quickly. Both of them on 8 lap old mediums at the minute. That has given Rare Winter a bit of breathing room, so we will keep an eye on the gap between Rare Winter and Bread is Cool. It's 2.6 seconds at the minute. Will Rare Winter just try to push that out there by 3 or 4 seconds? As we have Scotsman through the field already. P4 just overtaking David, but he has ran a bit wide, so that could be a bit of a warning for him. Dave's not going to let him get away that quickly, is he? Dave's going to have the pressure though from behind from Radical, but he will have the DRS on Scotsman. Scotsman could be under a bit of pressure here. He's got very little battery left, trying to use everything up. Looks like Davis just doesn't have enough. Radical had a little look around the outside, but it's just not enough. It is as you were. David does have the better exit, it looks like, out of turn 3. DRS open, so this could be a good move down the outside. It looks like he's going for it. Scotsman's actually pretty well defended down the inside. Radical just can't find a way through it. Looks like Radical could be getting held up a little bit through here. As we see Mongo already getting past Rosie and Stars Orton. Just shows with the tyre difference. 8 laps younger. Just able to push through this field as quickly as he can. So I'd say in about maybe another 3 laps or so we'll be able to see these hard runners really start to take the time out of the mediums. You just keep an eye on Fox, he's 7 tenths behind, but he's pretty equal actually on the battery. Is he going to look for the move side? He is closing down the inside. Made that actually a great move as the flow picks up a 3-second time penalty. It's just getting bad to worse for the flow, but Will Bread is cool now. He's going to have the DRS out of turn 3. He might have a little bit more battery coming down towards turn 4. He's not going to deploy it, so I think he might be just happy enough to set in behind Fox. Might know Fox has a bit more pace than him. He's just going to hold with him with the DRS, and TJ picks up a 3-second time penalty. Looks like just too much battling with Tattoo as we see Mongo getting involved now. Trying to cut through this field as quick as he can, and looks like the 2 guys aren't even going to give him a fight. As I say that, it actually looked like TJ was going to try to hold one round the outside. I think TJ would be a bit silly too with the pace difference that Mongo does have, but Tattoo's now looking around the outside of turn 6. Not going to be able to make that stick. You really have to be committed round the outside there and pray to God that the car will give you the space. Mongo now trying to fight through Jay in the Mercedes. Jay's not giving him a bit of room whatsoever, so it's good defending from him. Now will Mongo go before the DRS, or will he going to try to take the DRS off Jay? It looks like he's just going to back out of that one. Just take the DRS off Jay. That could be... Yeah, Mongo just about got the DRS. It was pretty close. It's going to give Mongo a few extra tenths on these guys, but Jay's not giving up this fight, even though he is technically a pit stop behind him. He's looking around the outside. He's better of it, so that's going to allow TJ right under the rear wing of Jay. Looks like there's a bit of a slide from Jay, so that's going to give TJ the advantage coming out of turn 3. Under the rear wing, down the inside. Jay blocks it off, but he blocks off the outside again. It's not going to give TJ an ounce of room. Jay runs wide, so that's going to allow TJ down the inside of turn 5. There's a bit of contact, but it looks like it's okay for now. It looks like Jay's become better off with that one. Good hard racing. Maybe TJ could say he's he's defended twice. That could be one to look into. Yes, there was a bit of contact, but long as both of them have came out of that one, there's not too much time lost. As we see, Jay's lost the rear wing again, so now he's going to be under a good bit of pressure from TJ. He's going to have the DRS coming up towards the start finish line. We'll be looking to try to get rid of Jay now as Tattoo Star picks up 3-second time penalty on the exit. So this will be one just to keep an eye on. He has used a good bit of his battery. Both of them under 20%. Red lights are flashing. The DRS just can't pull TJ long enough, but he is looking down the inside. Just can't make it happen. So again, we'll look down towards turn 4 with TJ. Tattoo in behind, just sitting waiting for one of these guys to make a mistake. Try to take full advantage now as we have Tattoo down the inside of TJ. Gonna make it happen. TJ's held it around the outside. That's absolutely brilliant from TJ. I don't think he gets enough credit for defending like that, to be honest. I don't really see that much of him, and to be fair to him, absolutely fantastic around the outside. You see Mongo just again slowly building up that gap, and we'll just keep an eye on what he is to the leader now. It's 18.3, 18.4. We'll keep an eye on the next couple of laps just before Winter does pull into the pit lane, what that gap could be, and if Mongo can get that undercut on him. See Winter back up to 4 seconds, so he's just starting to take control of this race for now until he has to pit. Red Skull is not letting Fox get away whatsoever. He is just being pulled along with the DRS. I'll be happy enough to save his battery for later on in this race. And Scotsman, to be fair, an absolute great recovery drive from starting last on the grid, already up to P4 before the first round of pit stops has really happened. So he could be one to keep an eye out for, especially if we do get a late safety car. We see David Dunn the back of Frenchie, another one. Just picked his way through the field pretty well. From what I can remember, I think he was P11. Yep, P11 he started, so already up to P5 before we even hit halfway of this race. So it's a great start from the Williams guy of Frenchie. Again, a great drive from David as well. He's just been consistent throughout the sprint race and throughout the main one so far. It's a good shout out for him. It's nice to see him do well for once. No offence, but you know, it hasn't been the best season for you. I think we all know that there, and I think it's been a bit frustrating throughout times, and I think it's going to be nice to see you get good points on the board, hopefully, without a commentator's curse. Pray to God. This looks like Mongo down the inside, or around the outside, sorry, of Radical through turn 1, but Radical defends it pretty nicely. Technically, it's not Radical's battle. He is technically going to be a pit stop behind him. He's not going to give Mongo any chance whatsoever. It looks like using up his battery. Mongo down the inside towards turn 4. Pretty simple. I don't think Radical can really do anything about that one whatsoever with no battery. You see Mongo draining through his battery, just trying to pick through this field as much as he can. We'll keep an eye out. Now it's 18.1, so it's came down a few tenths within the last lap. So he is closing in on Rare Winter once he makes the pit stop. It looks like he might actually get the undercut done. Then we will see that advantage go to Rare Winter towards the end of this race, when once he comes out on his fresh, should be fresh hards that should bring him to the end. Looks like everything's calmed down enough at the back as we've Brett is cool. Right on the rear wing again of Fox. So fair play to Brett is cool. 15 laps on the medium so far, and he is not letting Fox get away that easily. Obviously we've seen him just pulled along with the DRS. That's going to allow him just to save up his battery. So once he does make his pit stop, if he is going for an undercut, he will be able to deploy that pretty easily. Try to fight through the field that we see Mongo doing. Speaking of Mongo, he's right on the tail of David and Frenchie. The problem is he's coming up towards sector 2. It's quite a tough spot to overtake, and I think he knows that. He's just going to back out of it maybe. Say that, is he going to look for it around the outside? Maybe a bit wide there. Might have picked up a stupid little warning. He could have got away with it. Now this is just the worst part. When you are going for the undercut, especially on a track like this around sector 2, it's just a waiting game until you can get towards that final sector and the DRS. Maybe probably looking to try to dispatch both of these guys now, especially with Frenchie not having the DRS, and especially with David. I don't think David would be trying to put up too much of a fight here, maybe. But if he does, I think Mongo might be able to send one. David pulls into the pits. So that's going to try to go for the undercut on Frenchie. So that's going to be one to keep an eye out for once Frenchie does pit. So we see Mongo here. Should be able to dispatch Frenchie pretty simple now out of turn 3. With the DRS, with the battery advantage. Just slight use of the battery just down the inside towards turn 4. Nice and simple. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see now, probably in the next 2 or 3 laps. That gap's came down 2 seconds since we last seen. So definitely now he's got the undercut done on Rare Winter. It's just towards the end of this race, Rare Winter on the hards as we have for Mongo running wide. So he's just going to run that extra bit wide to hope he doesn't get the penalty, which is probably safe enough for him. And David has came out P13. He's got 5 seconds ahead of him of his good old friend Fish Sticks. So might see these two guys not getting each other's way to say. And then Fish Sticks might just think, away you go, matey. This is your race. To go and get good points. So you should see maybe Frenchie coming into the pits pretty soon. Going around again this lap. So he's not really worried of David's undercut just yet. Keep an eye on Scotsman now. His gaps started to really stay in around that 8.6, 8.7 seconds now for the past few laps. So just looks like this is his pace compared to Fox. So he's been able to get through everybody so far, and it's been a great showing from him. Obviously, with what happened in the sprint race, maybe he's just letting a bit of the anger out. And one thing for sure, you do not want to let an angry Scotsman, as we have Jay and TJ side by side through turn 5. There's a bit of contact, and somehow they both got away with it. Scott Kid, he's just retired in the pits, so he has called it a day for that one. And we see Jay and TJ at it again. We seen it about 5 or 6 laps ago between these two guys. Jay defending pretty hard into turn 4, not allowing TJ to do anything. So Rare Winter is into the pits now. This is where we should see Mongo get a pretty simple undercut on him. TJ picks up a 3-second time penalty. You'll see now what the gap is now between Rare Winter and Mongo coming out onto the fresh hards. Looks like it will only be Frenchie that he has to deal with, as Mongo actually picks up a 3-second time penalty, so that's not exactly what he wanted. As I think it is Sid. He's just letting guys through. I thought maybe he had spotted on turn 1. Pretty simple of him, straight out of the way, not to get in these guys' way whatsoever, so fair play to him. As we have Stars Orphan, he's in the pits now. He's getting a fresh set of hards on to bring him to the end. So now Mongo with that 3-second time penalty. He's got about 3-second undercut on him, and Magic Ram picks up 5-second in the pit lane, and that is him done for the day. So now we'll see maybe in the next 5 laps or so how much Rare Winter can take out of Mongo towards the end of this race, as we have Fox into the pits. So now it's interesting, the guy in the hards is actually went before the guy in the medium. So this is going to be a massive advantage now for Fox, as he's getting held slightly from the Alfa Romeo gang. Bit of a slow pit stop, wouldn't really have wanted that one. It's going to maybe put him in a bit of battle with Radical. He's hoping, trying to get the free air, but unfortunately maybe the Alfa Romeo gang have just held him up that slight bit too much that Radical is able to get with it. As we have a good few guys now. Frenchie's in the pits. We've seen he was fighting with David, and now David's been able to get that undercut done. And you can actually see David and Marco, now they're fighting away, and David's got that position as well. This is a great show now from David. So it's basically a 3-second undercut now that he's got on Frenchie. Basically to the 3-lap older tires, but shouldn't be too bad for him. If he can battle through this field as quick as he can, then we could see It'd be hoping for Frenchie not to be able to get through these guys. And we can see a great points finish actually from David here with this pace that he's actually showing, and it's great to see that we have Rare Winter starting to push up the pace with 11 dead fastest lap so far, and he's already straight on the back of Mongo, so this is for the lead of the race. Mongo came in early off the softs to the fresh mediums, got the undercut done, and now Rare Winter has taken that off him. Mongo had it for one lap, and Rare Winter was happy enough to say, no, I will take that one back. As we have Jay into the pits, onto the softs. So he's going to try to look 15 laps on the softs. It's going to be pretty hard, I would say, towards the end of this race for him. He'll be definitely very close, if not on it, for the tyre punctures with 75% in the start of it. We have Tattoo and Marco starting to fight side by side, coming up towards turn 6. Can they keep it clean? To be fair, Tattoo's giving Marco plenty of space, but that's going to give Frenchie a chance, as they're still side by side towards turn 8. Now Frenchie's looking around the outside of Tattooed Star. Can he make it stick? He will get the inside. I think it might be a slight bit of contact, but Tattoo again. Slight bit of contact. Frenchie's kind of forced his way through there. So fair play to him, but that has given Martin a bit of breathing space for now. But it looks like Frenchie, with the fresh hards, should be able to get this move done pretty simply. Up towards turn 1 maybe with the DRS. We've already seen this race how powerful it is. Now we see Frenchie dumping the battery. Marco's got just under 20% left. We see the blinking light as Radical makes his pit stop. As we actually have Frenchie, he's ran wide into turn 1, so the 1 second I didn't watch him, he's ran wide. Tattoo Star's going to take that space back. So he must have just outbroke himself and caught onto the grass maybe. That's not what he wanted. He was trying to get through this field as quick as he could. Now he has to deal with Tattoo Star again down the inside of turn 5. Slight bit of contact, which is actually maybe a bit of a lag contact there maybe with Tattoo Star, but it's giving Willy Bum damage. And Willy Bum has retired into a wall. I've seen Willy Bum, it's a slight bit of damage off Tattooed Star. Looked like there might have been a bit of a lag contact, and it's just giving him, look like right end plate damage, and maybe he just hasn't been able to deal with it under the braking, as we have a full safety car, even though I am not being shown yellow flags. This is going to give guys like British Co straight out back into P2 on the softs. That's going to take him to the end. We'll probably have about 11 or 10 laps racing by the time this safety car is over with. Scotsman, fresh mediums, he's going to be one to look out for towards the end of this race. Can he do it from P20 to P1? We've never seen a Scotsman ever do that well, have we? Be one to keep an eye out for. Mongo and Fox are 2 Alfa Romeo guys. They've been able to double stack in the box and not lose anything. An interesting Frenchie hasn't pitted, or Radical. They would have been able to get away with it. We had David, who was frightened Frenchie. He's came into the pit, so that's really calmed this race down for the next 2 or 3 laps. And once we get under green, it is going to be a great 11 laps of racing, it looks like. We have our race leader on 4 lap old hards, and the first 4 behind him on fresh mediums and fresh softs. So this is going to be one for Rare Winter to really show his pace. And can he hold on to this P1 or his British Co? To be fair in the sprint race, didn't have the best of luck. Good recovery drive, from what I can remember, already up to P6 and now P2 on the fresh softs. And we already know with him being pole in the sprint that he does have the pace on Rare Winter, so this is going to be a great battle to keep an eye on as we look through the penalties. Mongo with a 3-second penalty, Jay drive-through penalty for speeding under safety car, Marco with a 3-second, Flo with a 3-second, Tattoo and TJ and Sid Sandwich at the rear of the field, all with 6-second penalties. So this is going to be a big hurt now for Jay. He has to wait till the safety car is finished before he has to serve that drive-through penalty, and that will put him right to the tail end of the field. So it's very interesting to see now. Rare Winter, if he did come into the box again, he would have been able to get away with it, but this is the thing as a leader. If he goes, the rest of them might not, and he loses out big time, and he has a lot of cards to get through. So obviously now Brett is pro in P2, taking full advantage of that, and this is it's basically set up perfectly for him. 2 laps under safety car gives him basically 11 laps on softs, which they will be able to do. So he'll be hoping not to take as much life out of these softs as he can under the safety car. If we have Radical coming into the pits, he should be setting on a fresh set of softs if he does have them. We also have Rosie into the pits as well. So this is it then, the whole field, bar Scotsman and Renter on the softs. See, yeah, Rosie onto the softs as well. So this is going to be a hell of a finish for this race. It's already been a great race so far. The sprint, we've seen Rare Winter battle his way through the field from P6 to take the sprint win. We've seen Fish Sticks and Bread is Cool. Obviously they didn't have the best of races, and sadly Fish Sticks, he hasn't been able to do it this race so far, but this is his opportunity to get back into it. He'll be hoping his teammate in front of him doesn't cause him too much bother, especially with having to serve the drive-through penalty ahead of him. And if he does do that, then straight away he'll be on to the 2 Alfa Romeo boys, and if he can hold on to them, then God knows what could happen for Fish Sticks. The one maybe to look out for is Scotsman. I do see he has been able to get through the field, but doesn't really have the pace that Rare Winter does. So with the tyre difference, will he be able to do it, as we have the safety car coming into this lap? So Rare Winter is going to control the pace, and we will see when he goes. Will he go late or will he go early? The whole field backs up, and he's gone very early actually, so that's going to give Brett Skull a chance maybe to slipstream. Not want to hang around whatsoever. It looks like Brett Skull coming from around the outside, coming into turn 1. He's just got past him just after the start finish straight and round the outside already. So Brett Skull takes P1 straight onto the safety car restart. Maybe, if you don't mind me saying, Rare Winter maybe should have waited a bit later to allow that slipstream not to happen. Obviously you are on the hard compounded tyre, so it was going to always be a hard battle for you. But you have 10 laps. Them softs are going to be quite dead towards the end of this race, so there's always a fighting chance for you, as we have Scotsman putting Rare Winter again under the pressure with such a tyre advantage. Around the back, looks pretty clean actually of a restart from the rest of the guys, so fair play to them. This Tattoo Star picks up a penalty. You have the Flow actually, he's had to just come into the pits again. And it looks like Fish Sticks yet. Jay hasn't put up much of a fight for him, for his teammate, so now it's Fish Sticks' chance. Obviously now with Mongo with the 3-second penalty, basically P5 at the minute. Going to stick on his overtake, trying to dispatch of Mongo as soon as he can. As Scotsman's got overtaken by Fox. This is going to be 2 by 2, 2 Alfa Romeos, looking to get everything done on the Red Bull driver. And Mongo around the outside of turn 1. Scotsman down the inside, being able to defend that pretty well, but it's like Mongo, a slight wider line as David picks up a 3-second time penalty, but Mongo has got the better exit. Scotsman has already dumped all of his battery trying to defend from Fox, just hasn't been able to happen. But interestingly, Brett Cole hasn't been able to get away from Rare Winter. It actually looks like Rare Winter on these set of hards has been able to hold his pace, so maybe it's not cutthroat dry as we thought it would have been. Especially now as we have Jay with a 3-second time penalty. With these softs, they're going to start dying off in the next 4 or 5 laps, and that's just going to allow Rare Winter to have the bit of an advantage towards the end of this race. And maybe this is why he didn't box. Maybe he was right and I was wrong. We'll soon find out towards the end of this race. We have Fish Sticks again towards the backs of Mongo, and it actually looks like we have Fox and Rare Winter. Rare Winter was at the inside, Fox around the outside before we even get to turn 1. And Fox is on the move now as Winter picks up a 3-second time penalty. Obviously a bit of pressure from Fox and force that time penalty out of him. That's now going to give Scotsman P3 at the minute. So a great drive from Scotsman if he can convert this P20 to a P3, especially with what happened to him in the sprint race. The flow sets at 110.4, giving these guys a bit of work to do if they do want that extra point for the fastest lap. And we will, looks like actually Fishsticks, he's had a moment. What's happened there for Fishsticks? He was doing so well all race. Oh, what happened, buddy? That is not what I wanted to see, to be honest. He was sitting up there, P6, just controlling himself. You know, he wasn't going too hard, and obviously, I don't know if he's felt a bit of contact or anything, but as we see from there, Winter now, he's under pressure from Scotsman. Scotsman around the outside of turn 1, he will have inside of turn 2, but Winter will get the better exit. Obviously, with the DRS, he's getting pushed. Scotsman's actually getting pushed by the Ferrari driver. Winter has to dip under the slipstream again just to get that better extra speed side by side in towards turn 4. Winter down the inside. Scotsman does give the room, but now that's going to allow Mongo to try to take advantage of these two guys fighting. He just slips back under this rear wing of Scotsman. And we actually have Fox and Bredis Cool for the lead. Fox around the outside. Can Bredis Cool hold it around the outside of the next corner? No. So he's going to have to now to wait for the DRS zone to try to take advantage. And he will have the slight battery advantage on Fox throughout the rest of this next lap or so. So will he play it smart? Will he wait? Or will he just go for it now? Got the overtake on it. Looks like he's going for it now. DRS will be open. Shouldn't have to use any of his battery here. Should be a pretty simple one, but it looks like Fox is defending that inside pretty well. Pushing out to the outside now, trying to push out Brett as much as he can, side by side through 1, side by side through 2. That's not going to allow Brett to get the better exit, but he will have the DRS coming out of 3 down towards 4. So will he go for the move now? He's faked the inside, now he's going around the outside. Can he make it stick? Oh, still side by side through 5. That's great defending from Fox, but he is still there. Absolutely brilliant from Fox. Forced Bredis Cool around the outside. And to be fair to Bred, he actually really nearly peeled it off. It was really just on the exit of turn 5 is where he lost out. So absolutely great. And while them two were battling, Mongo's been able to take full advantage of Scotsman and Rare Winter between their battles. So the top 5 now only separated by just under a second and a half. Well, this is still anyone's game, but with the time penalties that are in play, it looks like it's definitely going to be between Bredis Cool and Fox. We have Scotsman trying to look down the inside, but both these guys no battery. This is where Bredis Cool now is actually looking around the outside of turn 1. Is he going to try to cut in? It looks like he does. It looks like he'll get the exit. But Mongo's right on the back of him, so he will have pressure from behind. Mongo's trying to back up his teammate here, so Mongo's going to try to go for the overtake, try to force Bred on a bad line and give Fox the lead. As a bit of contact, looks like Bred's ran wide. That's going to allow Scotsman down the inside. Can he make that stick? Or side by side. So it's absolutely great racing for these tier 4 guys. So Mongo backing up his teammate down towards turn 4, using his battery on Bredis Cool, has helped Fox out a ton. So now basically Bredis Cool still technically P2 once we look at the penalties, which is 3 seconds for 3 of the top 5 guys. So it's actually going to allow Frenchie now to jump up above Rare Winter and Scotsman, as we have Bredis Cool and Mongo side by side. Bredis Cool not wanting to allow Mongo away with what he done last lap, and it's pretty simple around the outside, as it looks like we have a raging Ferrari trying to put it down the inside of Scotsman. Now Scotsman's actually looking for it on Mongo with the 2 guys battling in front. Scotsman's going to try to take full advantage of this one. Problem is now we're stuck in a bit of a DRS train. He's got the most battery. They've all basically got none. Rare Winter's the only one really with the battery, and he's going to have to kind of start making his moves now. This is going to be starting where the softs are going to start running out. They have been able to dispatch Frenchie. Is Rare Winter, he's touched deep. Maybe he's made contact with Scotsman there, but we did see the rear end step out on him, but he's held it well. Still in this fight for P3. It's going to be close actually between Mongo and Frenchie at the minute. So whoever does get P3 with a time penalty is going to be very close, and with Frenchie not having the time penalty so far, it could be something to look out for. We have Scotsman right on the back of Mongo. It looks like they're going for round 3 at turn 1. Scotsman around the outside. Is Mongo going to try to hold it? Is he going to allow him to have it? If he's going to allow him to have it, he's going to look for a little cut back. He needs to watch for Rare Winter behind if he'd stuff the nose in. But Mongo is back on him. It's a great angle we've got, just how close they're getting. Mongo side by side down towards turn 4. Scotsman, and Mongo's been given a 5-second time penalty for that. So have we got a virtual safety car? And again, we got a full safety car, and I'm not seeing it. So what's actually happened there? I haven't seen anybody retire, and so that's a very interesting one actually. No one's retired. We've got a safety car that will only be out for 1 lap basically. And Mongo, he went for the move and just the slightest of contacts, and the safety car just came out and it's giving him a 5-second time penalty. That is so unlucky for Mongo. It's just the worst of timing. But Scotsman will be loving that, to be honest. He's now got a 5-second gap towards Mongo on his time penalties, but again, that's going to allow Frenchie and now Radical as well. He could get up to P4 now if he can hold on. As we have Mongo coming into the pits. Going to get rid of that 5-second time penalty, it does look like. And to be fair, it's been a pretty silly one. If anything, this game sometimes is just out to get you. We have David. And actually, to be fair, a good showing from both the AlphaTauri guys. P8 and P9, as we have Marco 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. He was up in the points. He could have had his chance, but now, sadly, that's just going all downhill for him. Rosie P10. So she's just been fighting away, just keeping herself clean and out of everyone's way, and now she's in the points with no time penalties especially. So if she's able to keep fish sticks behind for this next 2 laps, she could be on for a good points paying position. TJ up P7, he's seen him have a great race. Again, he's been battling basically all race, so fair play to him. But now this is where we see who has kept their tyres in the best condition. Obviously both of them same laps on them, but who has took better care of them. We'll see Jay and Haas of Marco will not be able to catch up to the field as Fox takes over control. Will he learn from Rare Winter's mistake and decide to go late, or will he go early? And Brett is cool, just waiting, and Fox is already went. So again, is this going to give Brett is cool the chance to get the slipstream down towards turn 1? It looks like Fox is well aware that that's a possibility, stuck on his overtake. As you have 2 by 2, it looks like Scotsman and Rare Winter. Rare Winter can't get that move done, and Frenchie right behind, waiting to get into that P3. He knows he can get it without the penalties. He can keep himself without them. And we have Rare Winter again down the inside of turn 4. He has a little that thinks better of it. It's actually a slide from Rare Winter there, but well held, to be fair to him. So the top 2, with a lap and a half to go, these guys have been tooth and nail for the last 5-6 laps, haven't let each other breathe. So Brett is cool, is not going to get DRS. Sorry, no, he's not going to actually get DRS for the last lap. So This is a straight shootout with the batteries, 65 to 71. So Fox does have that slight advantage, but Bread is Cool will have the slipstream coming up towards the start-finish line as we are about to start our last lap of this great Brazilian Grand Prix, to be honest. So Bread is Cool. He's closing. Fox defending the inside. Count Bread is Cool. Try to stick one around the outside. This is where he's used all his battery, so he has to make sure it sticks. Gets down the inside of turn 2, but Fox held it around the outside. Is that Bread is Cool's chance gone, or is he going to be able to stick it with him? He's going to have the slipstream using up all his batteries, looking around the outside of turn 4. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? Is Bread or is Fox going to be able to hold it down the inside? It looks like he has been, but they're still side by side. Bread is not letting this one go easy. Up towards turn 6. He's got it down the inside. We said earlier it's a bit of contact. Getting a bit of contact, but Robin's racing. This is great battling between the top two guys. Absolutely brilliant. Fox, he obviously has the battery, so he will have the good run up towards the line, as it's a big mistake, so that's going to allow Bread to to get away. And is Fox going to be able to do anything, or is Bread just stole this one in the last lap? As we have Frenchie and now Radical as well. So what's happened to Scotsman? He's all the way back, but Bread is cool, but Fox coming. Bread is cool with the win. It's a great battle for the last lap. Fair play to him. Seeing him pole on or qualifying for the sprint race. Obviously that just wasn't able to make up for it, but fair play to him. He's battled superbly from P6 get P1, and from his first full-time Aston Martin seat, he's got the win for them. So the Aston Martin boys are going to be loving life for that one. Absolutely great race from these guys. Fantastic. It's just what we've seen all year from them. It's been close racing. It's been hard, as we've seen. Yes, there was a bit of contact, but in my eyes, that was pretty good, pretty fair. You know, it wasn't as if Bread had dive bombed them. You know, it was just a slight coming together of wheels. Absolutely great to see from Bread. So we have Bread is cool. P1, P2 is Fox, and P3 finally has been able to get onto the podium after all the bad luck that he's had is Verwinter. P4 for Frenchie, P5 for Radical. Mongo, disappointing. P6 probably for him. He was probably thinking, especially with being up with his teammate, that he could have been able to get something out of that one. Stars Orphan P7, the Flow P8. P9 for Fish Sticks, maybe a bit disappointed with that, especially if we did see you have the pace. And finally P10 for Willy Bum, who rounds off our points paying positions. As I'm looking at the wrong points. Yes. I'm not stupid, I swear. Yeah, Jake, it's a... I am stupid. Put me into a wall of Baku. So we will get our top 3. Jake, to be honest, mate, I am done. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. I'm tired, fucking sore. But yeah, it was a great race to get it away. And just bear with me 2 wee seconds as I do get these top 3 into the party. Jake, can you quickly look at your Discord if you don't mind? for 2 seconds. Uh, so as we are just waiting for our top three to get in. And for some reason I cannot find. There we are. So Fox, you know the drill. Make sure to include your audio.
Yep, it's there, man.
Thank you. No problem, Brad. Absolutely great drive though. Fair play to you on P1. Sadly, you cannot join the party. So we will only have the two guys tonight, which will be Frenchie and Fox. We'll start off quickly with a very quick interview, to be honest. I think we've had a great race tonight. We can't ruin it with the interviews. So Frenchie, P3, congratulations. Obviously,
Yeah.
just through your qualifying, we'll just start off with there.
Well, I just had the worst qualifying I could ever have, and I just couldn't find any pace in qualifying, and was just way down in P9 and just kept going down, starting P11, and I think I just had a slow setup for it, but obviously somehow I got P3 in the race, so I'm pretty shocked and quite stoked about it. So yeah, quite happy about it.
Yeah, we've seen you were near enough a second off in qualifying. The sprint race, you weren't able to get the points whatsoever, but fair play to you, P3 in the main race. Did you ever think that was a possibility after what happened in the first two races?
Honestly, I had no clue from going off my quality. I was like, I'm not even gonna be in the top 10 with my pace. And obviously in was it the sprint? Scotsman went round, and I got caught up in that, so that put me back a bit. And I think I got some wing damage, but I'm not sure. It was still green, but it felt like wing damage. But yeah, I just carried on. Stayed P11 though, so started again in P11 in the race, and somehow managed to get P3, which is pretty shocking for me. Anyway,
Yeah, I think we seen with the time penalties, you were one of the few drivers that weren't getting them, and it's obviously again paid off for you. Obviously, we had, I think it was Rare Winter, Scotsman, and Mongo ahead of you at one stage. Didn't catch what happened to Scotsman towards the end of that race. Did you see it at all, or?
yeah, I saw. Was it Rare Winter took Scotsman out? I think it was like I don't know what happened, but it just went straight into Scotsman. The Scotsman went sideways, and I have no idea what happened after that. I just saw them two. I struggled to get past them because they were blocking half the track, but somehow, yeah, it was crazy. I don't know what went on in that race, to be honest. It was the craziest race I've ever done, to be honest.
Yeah, it was, to be fair, it was a great race to watch. Just moving on to next week. Las Vegas. Is it a track you like? Have you practiced it much, or you're not one for it?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited for it. So we'll see if I can do what I've done today and get a good podium slot up there. Because I'm pretty excited about that one. I think I've got a good setup for that one. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, with that P3 tonight, I think that puts you, I think it's about 6 10 points behind. Wait, my game's crashed and it's fucking done the streaming.
Oh no.
Oh.
My game's crashed too. I don't know whether it's
Yeah, so the game crashed and it's paused the fucking stream. Fuck's sake.
Oh mate.
This night can't get any fucking worse, I swear to fuck.
I know, right?
Is it going to allow me to do it from now?
Champagne tonight, boys. E3.
Mate, I'm fucking for it, so I am.
Yeah, driver of the day as well. Oh my god.
If you can hear us, hoping. Yeah, that should be us back on. I don't know where we actually cut off, if we didn't hear the tail end of our Frenchie there. But obviously, with his P3, that has allowed him back into the champ battle with Scotsman. So we just move on to Fox, as we were saying, P3 in the P3 in qualifying. Was there a mistake, or was that all you had?
No, I just didn't quite 100% hook it up, so I could have got a little bit better out of it, so I was a little bit disappointed not to. I reckon I could have got pole, but it wasn't to be, and I was happy with P3. So, yeah, quality was good.
Yeah, moving on to the sprint race. P2 in the sprint. Obviously, I think it was a great battle between yourself and Verwinter.
Yeah,
Was it, or was it?
yeah, just his tyres just didn't seem to want to go off, and I was like, I'll just hang in there. I was hoping to maybe try and get him down the straight, but he actually had some pretty good straight line speed, so I was more looking forward to the race, to be honest, because I knew over the race distance it would be a bit of a different story. But yeah, I was happy with P2. I've had an absolute terrible 5 or 6 races, and it was just nice to be back up in the thick of it.
Yeah, I think it's great to see. We did see you had that poor run of form for the past couple of weeks, as you were saying. And just going on to the race, I think, was it you that got the best thing out of the safety car? With Rare Winter, the first safety car on the run, or was I thinking of someone else?
No, it might have been someone else. I didn't
Someone
get
else.
caught out, but I was all right. Yeah, it didn't really go bad or good for me, to be honest. I kind of just held station, so I was happy with that. And then yeah.
Yeah, we've seen yourself and your teammate Mongo throughout that whole race kind of pushing each other through, and we've seen Mongo actually, I think it was Scotsman looking down the inside, or looking at turn 4, and your teammate decides not a chance. Down the inside of Scotsman he went and made sure Scotsman never stood a chance on you.
Yeah,
So it looks like you're playing the team game pretty well.
Yeah, we do speak. We don't party up together, but we have been talking to each other across the season, and we agreed like early days that we weren't going to fight each other. We're just, if you're quicker, you go past, let the quicker guy through. So today we both did a little swap. When he was on the softs early on, I said, look, just go past me, and I'll do my best to just try and keep with you. And then later on, when he had the penalty and I was behind him, he moved over and let me through. So yeah, Mongo's been a great teammate this season. I really enjoyed working with him. So Bradis today, I just couldn't get rid of him, man. Just so frustrating, man. He raced me so hard, like going into them the right hander. It would fucking side by side, and I was like, I don't want to go in here side by side, but I was like, I'm not yielding, like, no way. And then, yeah, around the next few corners are still side by side, and yeah, he done me in the end, man, fair play. But I tried my hardest, but after that safety car restart, my front tyres just weren't quite biting in, and yeah, it was a struggle. So yeah, fair play. I'm happy with P2. I'm gutted I couldn't win the race, because I haven't had a win this season, and I was determined to get one today. That's why I was fighting so hard. But yeah, it wasn't to be. But yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, it was a great battle that last lap. Side by side were a place it's very hard to, and fair play, I think, is kept it clear enough. I know there was a bit of contact, but it didn't look too overly dramatic.
No, I just think it was,
congrats.
yeah, just it was just racing. He didn't want to yield, I didn't want to yield. We were tight. Luckily enough, I don't think it really affected either of us too bad, to be honest. So yeah, I'll just chalk it up to good hard racing. Bit of wheel, touchy is not bad.
Yeah. So congratulations. And just one quick question on Las Vegas. Same question as at the Frenchie. You
Great.
practice much on it, or?
I've had a little practice, and I'm kind of dreading it, to be honest. Cross Creek, yeah, I'm really not looking forward to it. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to put some practice in this week, and hopefully I'll be able to get up to pace with everyone else. But yeah, really not looking forward to it. Looking forward to Abu Dhabi, but yeah, definitely not Vegas.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one next week for a lot of the guys who know how on the traction it is at Vegas. The car does like to slide. So congratulations on your P2, buddy.
Thank you very much.
It was a great race throughout. And quickly, just before we go, it is driver of the day. There's quite a good few to go between. There was David Fishdicks. Frenchie, obviously, P11, both races. Wasn't able to get it in the sprint, but obviously P3 in the main race. We also have Brad, started pole. The sprint race just didn't get to him. He had to finish P7, and he converted that P7 to the win. And sadly, Frenchie, I'm going to have to give it to Brad for his first full-time seat in Aston Martin.
That's all right.
It was very close. Both of you had a great race. A fantastic recovery drive, but I just think just him getting the win, it's just pipped it. If he had finished P2, I think it was all for you.
Yeah.
But that will finish it for tonight, and be sure to tune in tomorrow night when our tier 1s will take you around Brazil for the final time this week before we do move on to Vegas, where our tier 3s will take you around for the first time on Wednesday. I have been Crossgrey 1888, and sadly I didn't have a co-coms tonight, but hopefully I will next week. And from everyone at FPRL, have a good night.